What's going on, guys? Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today I am bringing you a deck that I ran into on the ladder and thought was super fun to try out, and that is a Buzzwole-GX deck with just as many different boosts as you can possibly get. And before I get into the deck, just a reminder that if you guys like this video or found it helpful, please leave a like, drop a comment, click that subscribe button. It helps us out a ton and lets us do more cool stuff for you guys. And as for the question of the day, in the spirit of what this deck is all about, just stacking as many boosts as you can get onto a single attack, my question of the day is what is the highest amount of additional damage you guys have been able to stack in a turn, and what situation did that arise in? Honestly, I think that this deck might be, in my testing, the most damage I've ever stacked in one turn. I think what I had a Buzzwole with 2 Strong, a Beast Energy, and then I had Diancie and 3 Regirock on the field and a Choice Band as well. So in that turn I had 40 and then 100 with the Strong Energy, Beast Energy, and the Choice Band. Then I had 120, and then I had all 3 Regirock out. So it was 150 extra damage in one turn. I was able to hit for 180 with a Jet Punch. So that was the most extra damage I've ever been able to pile on in one turn, and quite frankly, it was pretty awesome to be able to pull that off. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below, what situations have you guys come across where you have been able to stack a bunch of additional damage on top of the base damage that your Pokemon has already been able to hit for. I'd love to hear what types of crazy situations you guys have found yourself in. But anyway, on to the deck. This is going to be a little bit quicker because this deck is just very, very straightforward. So we have Buzzwole, which hits for 30 damage with Jet Punch and does 30 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for a single fighting energy. Then it has Knuckle Impact for 3 energy, does 160. And then Absorption GX, a great early game GX attack, just to be able to take those first 2 prizes, get rid of whatever big attacker your opponent happened to have built up that type of thing, and then the rest of the deck is literally just alternative attackers, with this Buzzwole as a way to not be destroyed by Safeguard, a Zygarde-EX so that we can mix up the weakness just a little bit so that we don't auto lose to Psychics, and then just support Pokemon like Diancie and Regirock for boosting damage output, and then Tapu Lele for being able to get any supporters that we need. So it's just honestly a very, very straightforward deck. And I know that there are a lot of different Buzzwole decks out there right now they're still running Diancie, Beast Energy, and Strong Energy, and they include like Zoroark and Lycanroc among others. And no, not Garbodor, that'd be stupid. I was like, oh, and they run Garbodor too. No, that would shut off Diancie. But anyway, things like Zoroark and Lycanroc, I've seen those versions running around, and quite frankly, I think that those are better versions of this deck. They are more meta suited. This was just kind of a, I could have some fun with this and just see how much extra damage I can get. So do I think that this is the best version of it? No. Do I think that it is a very fun version of it? Oh, heck yes. I had so much fun using this deck when I was testing it out, and I could not wait to start recording with it. So it's just very straightforward. I'm going to start with just going to go down the numbers of Mons that we have. 1, Baby Buzzwole for being able to work around opposing Safeguard Mons like Hoopa and Alolan Ninetales with Sledgehammer. If your opponent happens to take a knockout on Buzzwole or Zygarde, then all of a sudden Sledgehammer's hitting for 120 damage, and then you have Swing Around, which isn't ideal, but with the boosts that you have at your disposal, it is plenty sufficient for being able to one-shot the Ninetales. I mean, Hoopa's just going to go down anyway because it's weak to fighting, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, this Baby Buzzwole is great as a backup attacker if you want to try to force your opponent into an odd prize game, that type of thing, and also is a great workaround to Safeguard. 4 of the Buzzwole-GX, just because, I mean, this is the main attacker of the deck. We want to have as many as possible so that we can stream them consistently, and I know I usually say we only have 3, because if your opponent knocks out 3 Buzzwole, you lose the game anyway. But in this deck, because it is so heavily reliant on Buzzwole-GX as an attacker, and we have ways of bringing them, like denying prizes with Acerola, then having Buzzwole in that situation, having 4 Buzzwole, maximum number, allows me to get them as consistently and as quickly as possible and start just racking up the damage as quickly as I can. 1 Diancie, I would love to run more, but unfortunately that stupid little Prism Star thing with Princess's Cheers. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your fighting Pokemon's attacks do 20 more damage to your opponent's active, just an extra damage boost. And then we have lesser Diancie in Regirock with Regipower, and it only gives a 10 damage boost, but still, that 10 damage can make a big difference in some situations. And then 1 Zygarde, like I said, just attacks for low amounts of energy, hits harder as you get more energy onto it, and is just another way of attacking where you don't have the psychic weakness that Buzzwole has. And then 2 Lele, just because Lele is Lele. As for the items, we have 4 Beast Ring, absolute max number, so that if our opponent happens to knock out a Buzzwole, we can just immediately be like, Beast Ring, boom, I have something set up. Or even just 1 Beast Ring can be absolutely devastating for your opponent because they finally took out your Buzzwole, and then you immediately respond with another fully powered up Buzzwole, and it's like, okay, what are you going to do now? And if you can play more than 1 Beast Ring per turn, well, in that turn that your opponent just took 2 prizes, well, then your opponent's just in a very, very bad spot, as now they have to deal with 2 Buzzwoles. I mean, it's an absolutely insane swing card. I mean, this deck, if your opponent happens to knock out a Buzzwole or just a GX and take 2 prizes, all of a sudden you're able to just take that momentum and run with it like crazy. Like, it's absolutely insane. I love the plays that you're able to pull off. 2, Field Blower, because this deck does rely quite a bit on abilities, and also Choice Band is annoying. 1, Super Rod as the method of recursion. As, I mean, I could run Rescue Stretcher, but I mean, I just like putting it back in the deck, and also we need to conserve our regular energy so that Beast Ring can get its full effectivity. 4, Ultra Ball to guarantee get what we want when we want. 3, Brooklet Hill to kind of just be another way of searching out our fighting mons and getting them onto the bench. And then as for these supporters, 4-3-3 of Cynthia and Sycamore, just kind of a line that I've gotten used to and that I like. 3 Guzma. 3 Guzma's been working well for me, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. 2 Acerola to do the prize denial thing that I talked about with Buzzwole. 4 Choice Band for maximum damage output, like I said. 3 Float Stones because Diancie and Regirock are both kind of fat, and so you don't want to have to manually retreat, so this is just a way to get out of that. 4 Strong Energy for extra damage output. 1 Beast Energy, again, for the extra damage output. And then 7 Fighting for Beast Ring, and then also just regular attachments. So, yeah, just fairly straightforward in what this deck does. So let's just go ahead and see this deck in action. Alrighty, we have got one against Gorthour? Gorthour? I don't know. With a water deck of some sort, so honestly I have not sure what exactly he's running. I mean, it could be any multitude of things. I mean, it could be a non-meta deck, it could be Glaceon, it could be Glaceon Frogs, which I've seen running around, and luckily we do win the coin flip, so we do get to go first. I mean, this deck doesn't mind going second because, I mean, I'm still able to attack, but at the same time, I mean, having an extra turn of setup is always nice. So yeah, let's go ahead and start with the Buzzwole. I mean, we start with something that's definitely very nice. And he starts with a Rangoon, so this is very nice for me as well. So I am just going to attach the energy, play the Choice Band, and then Cynthia. I thought about ending, but meh. I'll just go ahead and Cynthia, see what I can get. Get an Ultra Ball. How do I want to play this? Let's get rid of a Choice Band and a Fighting Energy to grab probably just Diancie. Yeah, because with Diancie, all I need is just a Regirock. Or a Strong Energy. A Regirock or a Strong Energy, and I'll be able to one-shot this Rangoon next turn. Which is hopefully what ends up happening. We do see the Froakie come down, so this is going to be a Frog deck. Wondering what other cards he is running, or what other mons he is running, besides just Frogs, because, I mean, yeah, long gone are the days where you can just straight up run Greninja. I mean, now you have to have Greninja and something else, because unfortunately, Greninja just does not do enough. And my opponent ends me. I mean, I could have played down the Float Stone onto Diancie, but I mean, I was kind of wanting to bait out the Field Blower on my Choice Band, I mean, just in case. And while I am going to play down the Brooklet Hill, this will give him the ability to search with it too, which is a little bit suboptimal. But at the same time, I still just want to get set up as best as possible, because I think my setup can beat his. And we see the Eevee, so he is running Glaceon in addition to Frogs. So this is Glaceon Frogs. That'll be kind of annoying for dealing with what am I trying to say? Dealing with not having our abilities, so Regirock won't be able to do a whole lot. But at the same time, I mean, Diancie is not an EX or a GX, so I will still get the extra 20 damage from it. So that's something that I can definitely work with and get some solid stuff. So let's go ahead and Brooklet Hill, grab a Regirock, 'cause I mean, that's all I need to be able to one-shot this Oranguru for this turn. Let's Ultra Ball, get rid of probably the Ultra Ball and the Lele. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of both of those. Probably grab another Buzzwole so I can have something to play the Choice Band onto. And then I'm just going to Sycamore away my hand, Float Stone up the Regirock as it's the fattest, and then Sycamore for a fresh hand, see what I can get, and I get some pretty darn amazing stuff. So let's energy up this Buzzwole on the bench. I'm pretty sure this Buzzwole that I have active is just going to be out there and jet punching until it goes down. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm going to go for, spread damage around. I could start targeting down the Froakie, but unfortunately he has 70 HP, and Glaceon is more than likely what he is going to bring active. So the sooner I can get more damage on that thing, the sooner I can KO it. And then Greninja, it'll be annoying, but it's not something that I can just snipe down, so I'd rather have the damage on the Glaceon, put it closer and closer to being KO'd, and go from there. So yeah, the Glaceon is active. Regirock's damage is now mitigated, but I mean, again, I have the Diancie, I have the Choice Band, I have the Strong Energy somewhere, I have the Beast Energy in my hand, which is going to do an absolute crap load. Actually, 2 crap loads if I'm being more precise. But yeah, I mean, we're in a great position. He has the Glaceon. He's not going to be able to do a whole lot to me this turn, and I will just be able to hit the Glaceon for even more damage with my Buzzwole and start spreading damage around. Probably just going to try to target down that Eevee, as that's, I mean, again, Glaceon, like I said, is going to be what he puts active. So the more damage I can put on those things, the more likely I am to be able to KO them. And the Frogadier comes out, again, not a big deal. It's kind of annoying because, I mean, of that little extra spread damage, but at the same time, as soon as he knocks out a Buzzwole, I'm just going to Beast Ring and get 2 Buzzwoles powered up. So that's, yeah, I mean, that's what is so awesome about this deck, is like, you can just Jet Punch with Buzzwole until you go down. And even when that happens, you can just be like, okay, well, you took 2 prizes, I spread damage around quite a bit. Now I'm just going to go ahead and power up multiple other Buzzwoles that you have to deal with, and then just make you have to overcome 2 fully powered up Buzzwoles at the very least. So what I'm going to do is get rid of the Brooklet Hill and the Choice Band, just because Brooklet Hill is going to be helping him, and I don't need to search anything out anymore. I already have 3 Buzzwoles down. I mean, I could search. So what I was debating right there was, do I want to search for the non-GX Buzzwole, or do I just kind of want to stick with the Buzzwoles that I have? And I just decided that, you know what, I'm going to keep that bench spot open in case I knock out this Glaceon and I need a Lele or something to that effect. And even then, I just happened to draw into the non-GX Buzzwole. So that's nice. I mean, my opponent did end me into a very solid hand, and what he can do, even if he can attack me this turn, is I'll be able to Acerola up my Buzzwole, and then just, yeah, make him deal with a completely fresh Buzzwole. He is being smart and spreading his damage around and starting to load up on my Buzzwole with the multiple energy, so that's something that I'm going to have to keep an eye on, just so I don't just get Guzma'd up and then get a surprise KO on my Buzzwole, because, you know, that'd be very bad if that ended up happening. Sorry, I hit the table right there. And yeah, so my opponent is just going to get into the Greninja and attach an energy, and still can't attack with Glaceon. So at this point, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead and play down the baby Buzzwole, because as soon as he takes a knockout, not only will I have Beast Ring active, but I will also have, yeah, not only will I have Beast Ring active, I will also be able to attack for 120 damage base with Baby Buzzwole for a single energy. And now I'm going to promote this this Buzzwole. If he has a Choice Band, he can knock me out with his Greninja. And yeah, I'm just going to go for the Absorption GX. It feels like such a waste to do that, especially when it's... Like, I had the damage to knock out with Absorption, but I want to be able to attack back-to-back, and that's one of the downsides of Buzzwole, is, like, it can hit for a ton of damage, but then it has the nasty drawback of not being able to attack this next turn. So my opponent is going to get another Greninja. Now all he needs is a DCE in order to be able to knock me out, and that's... I mean, that stinks, but it's quote-unquote fine. Yeah, I mean, that should be fine, because I'm down to 3 prizes. I can take a knockout on a Lele, and then I can probably, like, pick off an Eevee or a Froakie or something like that, and be able to take my last odd prize, especially with the Baby Buzzwole and the fact that Beast Ring is about to be active for me. So does he not have DCE? If he doesn't have DCE, then I think I might be in a great position to win. Well, I'm even in an even better position now because he forfeited. So, yeah, we'll take the win right there. Unfortunately, my opponent was not able to set up as much as they wanted, and also this deck only relies on EX and GX abilities just a little bit, so Glaceon is not as devastating as it could be, as our boosts come mostly from the Prism Diancie and also from Beast Energy and Strong Energy and Choice Band, all those things. So yeah, Buzzwole doing Buzzwole things in that first game, so very solid first one. Let's go ahead and try to find another one. Alrighty, we found another one against 27 explosions. I'm hoping for only 26. I don't really have a particular reason why I'm hoping for 26, but if there's a full 27, then we really just have no chance at all. But we do win the coin flip, and I will take this opportunity to go first. And one thing I did notice about my opponent's deck is that, unfortunately, we're facing a Psychic deck, which this deck really does struggle with. I mean, I do have the Tech Zygarde for a little bit of mixing up the weaknesses, but at the same time, I can't just rely on one Zygarde to carry me throughout the game. So at some point, I'm going to have to attack with a Psychic weak, and it's just a matter of what it happens to be. On the bright side, I do start with my non-Psychic weak, so I mean, that's definitely something that I can work with, and I have energy to be able to attach. I have an Ultra Ball to get my Diancie out, and it's a Trubbish. Oh boy. This is very not good. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is Ultra Ball. Do I want to get rid of the Beast Ring? Yeah, because I'm probably only going to play 2, or probably only going to be able to play 2 at the most. Let's Ultra Ball for that Diancie so that I am able to play it down. Choice Band up the Zygarde, Strong Energy up the Zygarde as well, and then pray that I draw into a Stadium, which I don't. I just get a crap load of energies, and yeah, slightly, it's not very ideal, but I mean, I guess I can definitely, I guess I can roll with it. I definitely don't want to Sycamore away this energy, because then that just reduces the ability to Beast Ring later in the game. But at least, I mean, okay, on the bright side, at least I have energy. At least I have energy that I'm going to be able to attach, but the supporter that I have right now is kind of dead for me, all things considered. And okay, my opponent's going to get an Eevee. And what's he going to do? Is he going to be able to evolve? He's going to Choice Band it up. And yeah, he is going to be able to evolve it. On the bright side, I will be able to attach an energy to Zygarde and knock out the Trubbish with Cellstorm. And, I mean, at least Zygarde is not weak to Espeon, which could be very, very bad otherwise. He is going to Cynthia, which again is fine with me. So it's really just a matter at this point of what do I want, which energy do I want to attach to Zygarde. Well, I get another Strong Energy. Wow, I guess the game just really, really wants me to have energy, so I'm going to just go ahead and play that, and then go for a Cellstorm to knock out the Trubbish. I mean, I really... Yeah, well, I mean, if he knocks out something, then I have the Beast Ring, but... Man, when I draw into energy, I really draw into energy. There's no in-between. There's either me getting no energy, or there is just every single energy I have in the deck I draw within, like, the first couple turns. Admittedly, this is a little bit better because, I mean, at least I'm still able to attach an attack. And he's going to Guzma. What's he bringing up? Going to bring up the Buzzwole. Is he going to be able to knock me out immediately with a Psybeam? Because if he does, that's bad. Well, not Psybeam, Psykick. Psybeam's not able to knock me out. It is able to potentially two-shot me. And, oh, I get an N. That is lovely. So let's go ahead and... Okay, how do I want to do this? I think I'm just going to pray that I draw into the Float Stone so I can get my Buzzwole out of the active. And I don't. So that's very bad. That means Buzzwole is about to go down. So I am just going to try to prepare myself for the upcoming turns. Let's grab a Regirock. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab a Regirock, boost the damage output a little bit, and then just kind of resign myself to the fact that this Buzzwole is going to be knocked out by a Psybeam. But on the bright side, that will activate my Beast Rings, which I will hopefully be able to use to knock out the Espeon. See the Trubbish come down. So, I mean, that is something I have to worry about. I do have to worry about the Garbodor. And, yeah. So what I'm going to do this coming turn, I'm going to Beast Ring onto Buzzwole. Okay, who do I want to promote? Because I don't have the luxury of just putting something up with a Float Stone. I have to play as if whatever I'm promoting is going to be attacking this turn. Zygarde is not able to one-shot the Espeon. My Buzzwole will be if I decide, if I'm able to draw into a single energy. So if okay, so when I Beast Ring, I'm going to put the energy on Buzzwole, obviously. If I can draw into a single energy, I'll be able to knock out the Espeon with a GX attack. So I think that's what I have to go for. I could go make the safe play going to Zygarde, but I think because my opponent already has an Espeon up, and he parallel city'd. So, very sorry, Regirock. I think you're going to have to bite it because everything else is just a little bit too important right now. Diancie allows me 20 extra damage. Zygarde is fully powered up. I'd be dumb to get rid of that. And then Buzzwole is what I'm going to be Beast Ringing onto this coming turn. So I need everything that I have. And I also need to be kind of careful about how many items I play because Garbodor is a big threat. Garbodor is definitely a gigantic threat. Especially to my Zygarde, as it's the only thing that can really one-shot me. So it's just a matter of how is my opponent going to play this? So I think you just have to take the knockout on Buzzwole. You just have to be like, he passes the turn. What the heck? Why? I guess because you don't want to activate my Beast Ring? So, okay, I get where he's coming from, but at the same time, I do not agree with that play at all. I think that that was a very, very bad play in terms of just not taking a knockout on a Buzzwole. I mean, yes, you don't activate my Beast Ring, but what I would have been forced to do is deal with a full HP, deal with a full health Espeon. Now I'm going to be able to get an attack off of it with my Garbodor. Or with my, not my Garbodor, with my Zygarde. So I highly disagree with that play. I very, very much disagree with that play. And so now what I'm going to be able to do is just Land's Wrath, put that thing in range of even just a Jet Punch. Like now Espeon is in range of a single Jet Punch from my Buzzwole. Granted, it has to be active. It can't be on the bench. But yeah, I do not like that play. I think that was a very bad play overall. But that being said, he is able to get a Trashalanche up. I don't have enough yet in the discard pile for the Garbodor to be, or for my Zygarde to be one-shot by Garbodor. So I'm not overly worried. It's just something that I know I'm going to have to keep an eye on at the very least. So my opponent is taking their sweet time too, I might add. So I don't know what they can do. Like, I mean, if they can attack my Zygarde, but then the Espeon goes down, and he still doesn't get a knockout. And what I can always do is if he does Psychic, so he Float Stones up the Trubbish. I think he's finally decided what he's going to do. It took him that long to just Float Stone up a Trubbish. So, okay, either my opponent is really thinking about his plays, or he's experiencing some sort of lag. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, saying that it didn't take him like a minute and a half to float stone up a Trubbish, and say that he's experiencing a little bit of lag. But he does Guzma up my Diancie. Doesn't go down in one hit. Does DCE up the Espeon. And now he's probably just going to divide GX to finish off the Buzzwole, and then just spread the damage elsewhere. I mean, I really hope he didn't take about 3 minutes. Was it 2 minutes? It was at least 2 minutes. I'm hoping that he didn't take at least 2 minutes just to think about that play, because that seemed like a pretty straightforward play. I mean, you don't want to bring up anything that would be attacking like any of my Buzzwoles or my Zygarde. And so, I mean, you obviously go into Diancie, like, you float stone up the Trubbish, because, I mean, that's what you kind of do in this deck, is if you have a Trubbish, you float stone it up. I mean, that's just how it goes. So he does decide to bring my Diancie active, does not damage it, so I can't Acerola. So at this point, I do just have to hope for a float stone. So let's go ahead and energy up the Buzzwole completely. Sycamore, pray I draw into a float stone, which I do, and I actually draw into another Beast Ring. And while I could... So let's just go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and play that down. Grab another Buzzwole, I think. Or do I want to grab a Regirock? Let's grab a Regirock for a little bit extra damage. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Beast Ring up my baby Buzzwole, because this is something that even if my opponent has less than 4 prizes left, because of Diancie, I will be able to one-shot it. I will be able to one-shot the Espeon, or I will be able to one-shot the Garbodor. And yeah, let's just go for a Land's Wrath. Actually, I should have gone for Cellstorm. Oops. Really hoping that doesn't bite me, because I mean, I did have the 30 damage on me. I was just like, you know what, let's do what I usually do, and that's say that there is no kill like overkill, but in that case, I really should have gone for the slightly less overkill in Cellstorm. I mean, it still would have done 130 damage, so... Yeah, that's my bad. Really hoping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Whew, that might come back to bite me. If he has a choice band. Yeah, if he has a choice band, there is just enough energy on me to get knocked out. Or there's just enough items in my discard pile for me to get knocked out. So I definitely should have Cellstormed. That's my bad. Oh, man. But he does Guzma. What's he bringing up? Okay, he's just going to knock out a Buzzwole. Well, this is... Okay, he's going to go down to 2 prizes. I am going to be able to go right back into my Zygarde. But for now, I'm going to put up Diancie just because that's the thing that has the free retreat. I can work around it. And... Okay. So let's go ahead and get rid of a Guzma and Brooklet Hill to grab a Lele. I have to N. Okay, there is N. There's a couple energy left in the deck that I can put onto baby Buzzwole. And so yeah, let's just go ahead and end my opponent and try to make sure that he can't draw into anything that he needs. So I got the value that I wanted out of my Beast Rings. I got 2 of them, forced my opponent to get rid of my Buzzwole that did have full energy on, was fully powered up and had and would be able to attack. So let's just go ahead and retreat into Zygarde, and I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. I'm going to Cellstorm, knock out this Garbodor, recover that 30 damage, and now just pray that he didn't draw into anything. Okay, so if he drew into Garbodor Guzma, then I just kind of had to tip my hat and be like, well, the cards did not want me to win that game. But if he drew into anything else, then I still have a chance. So he plays down an Eevee, so that lessens the odds that he has the Garbodor Guzma. He just has Envy and DC... Envy, wow. Eevee and DCE. I've been watching too many Jolts videos. He has an Eevee and a DCE. So he's gonna... He could Stomp Off, get rid of the top card of my deck. That's definitely something he could do. Or... Huh. So he's going to retreat into Eevee. I think he's just going to try to Quick Draw, and he does not get the Quick Draw. So I think that N might have stuck. So at this point, I have a choice. I can attack with Zygarde and risk him drawing into Garbodor and a Choice Band and a Field Blower. Well, first things first, let's Field Blower, get rid of that, and get rid of the Float Stone so he doesn't have that free retreat just to go into something. And do I want to attack with Buzzwole? So the thing is, if I attack with Buzzwole and I don't draw into an energy, then I can't one-shot a Garbodor. But at the same time, that means he has to draw into Garbodor and Guzma in order to take a knockout. Like, I'm forcing him to have the Guzma, so I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to force him to have the Guzma in order to be able to win the game. I can probably draw into an energy, because if he ends me, then... If he ends me and I don't get an energy, then he has another opportunity. I don't know, I really just wanted to force him to draw the Guzma, especially because he had that early, and he does Lele. So he either has to have the N or the Guzma, and if he Guzmas, then he needs an energy to retreat Lele out, and he has to have the Garbodor. And actually, at this point, I don't think just straight up actually, it probably does because of the Field Blower that I played. Okay, so straight up Garbodor probably knocks me out at this point. Just a Garbodor Trash Lanch. So he's got the Guzma, so what's he going for? Is he going for a stall? Because, yeah, I mean, he didn't have the cards to pull off the Guzma into Garbodor. And, yeah, he's just trying to stall, but unfortunately for him, I do have the Guzma of my own, and you know how I said I can't just rely on Zygarde to win me the game? Well, Zygarde, that single Zygarde ended up coming through for the entire game and ended up winning me the game. So, yeah, good job, Zygarde, I guess. But we were able to come through in a matchup that is bad for us based on weakness. And honestly, this deck was a whole lot of fun. Just being able to see how many extra boosts I could put onto Garbodor, and then just swinging for as much damage as possible was insanely fun. Is it the best version of this deck? I don't think so. In fact, I know that it isn't. It's just a very fun version that I wanted to bring you guys. So, yeah, that's the deck, guys. Hope you enjoyed watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And this is Styx, signing out. Why not? See you guys.